everyone, and welcome to another video, and also welcome to the very first vlog of 2022. It has been, I think, quite a while since I last filmed a sort of writing vlog or a sort of normal like day in my life work type vlog, and so today I wanted to do exactly that. I'm going to be doing some writing today, and I'm also going to be working on the illustration project, so it should be fun. I have some nice food I want to make as well. I know some of you guys really appreciate when I do like cooking and stuff in my vlogs. The last 2 weeks have basically just been me trying to settle back into a work routine, and I did mention in my last vlog that sort of like over New Year's and early January I took a 2-week break, so I ended up spending about 2 weeks just like not leaving this apartment. That wasn't by my own choice. Omicron has hit us pretty hard here and we haven't been boosted yet, so until that happens I'm trying to stay inside where I can, and the result is that I read like 5 or 6 books or something like that. I played a good 30 hours of Stardew Valley in about 4 days, so that's how my holiday went. But honestly, I did get the rest that I needed because I'm coming back to work feeling like creative and energized and not stressed, because towards the end of last year I could sort of feel my burnout like slowly creeping back in. Like I could feel that I was getting like pretty worn out, so I'm glad I took a good nice long break, the break that I needed. But now I'm back at work and I'm working on writing projects and I'm working on the illustration project. First up today I'm probably just gonna head out and go for a little bit of a walk. The weather's pretty lovely, the sky's blue. I think it's quite a mild day. We've had a really mild summer this year, which has been so very good. So yeah, I'm gonna go head out and go for a walk, and then I will come back and do some writing. Okay, so I should probably turn the record player off. This is a very comfy way to sit down. Can you tell that I'm still like really excited about the things that I got for Christmas? We ended up buying a new record player just before Christmas in the Black Friday sales, and so for Christmas I ended up being given a bunch of records. So I got Angus and Julia Stone's Down the Way and also Arctic Monkeys AM. These are 2 of my favorite albums of all time. I've been playing them quite a bit. I was also given this little essential oil. I've had this Aroma Diffuser for like a year, 2 years maybe. It's like a $10 like cheap one from Kmart, but this is actually a really nice essential oil which has lavender, orange, ylang ylang, marjoram and Roman chamomile in it. It smells amazing, and I've been careful to run it sitting like a little bit away from the books and the board games and my computer, because I've heard that it can damage things over time. Like I think you have to run it a lot, but the moisture is not amazing for books or computers or board games or things like that. So just have been careful to place it in like the middle of the room, far away from things. Anyway, on task, without getting distracted again. Today I'm going to be trying out a new method for helping to plan my stories. So I ended up going to Officeworks to get these little cue cards. These are just some like $2 cheap smallish cue cards. They're a lot smaller than the index cards you get for debating. I remember having to buy those when I was doing debating in high school. Yes, I was in the debate club.
You dork. Go back to the chess club. Who's laughing now? Yes, I was in the chess club.
But these are just some like smaller, cheaper ones that I ended up getting, and I'm going to use these to try and plot out the chapters of the long form work I'm working on. And I also got this pen, which is an erasable pen, which are not particularly a new concept, but I love stationery, and it helps that I worked at a stationery shop for like 3 years when I was in uni, so I tend to geek out about stationery stuff. But yeah, it's a pen, like a black pen. and then you can erase things. See, mostly gone. I'm going to actually take each card, and each card is going to be a small synopsis of the chapter I want to work on, because with this project that I'm working on, I'm still on draft 1 pretty much. I am spending a lot of time problem solving and trying to work out where I want the story to go and trying to work out structurally what I want to happen. I think it's very important to really get the bones of a big story like this down first before I worry about the details, because I've mentioned before that I love the details. I love embellishing the world. I am probably definitely a person who could end up with world builder's disease, which is when you just end up spending lots and lots of time building up your little fantasy world and not actually writing anything because you're spending so much time just building everything else and brainstorming everything else out. So I think it's very important at this stage that I'm making sure I'm happy with everything structurally, and so that's what I'm going to do here today. I'm going to write out these cue cards and try and do some planning for my chapters. I feel like I'm playing a board game. I have now migrated over to my desk. So I've set up all my little cue cards here and I'm done for now. I think I'm finding it pretty useful to do this, to sort of set everything out in a really like clear visual way. I'm very much a visual learner, and so I have mentioned before that I really love a good spreadsheet. I love like making things look color coded and setting things out visually so that they make sense for my brain, and so I like this. This feels very not overwhelming. It's easy to see everything and I like this system so far. So I'll see how I go. I've been writing up notes and things as I've been going, and so I've been working on plotting, and I always love saying that because it makes me feel a bit like an evil mastermind. I have been plotting today, but yes, I have finished up with this for now. It's always hard on days like this when I'm not specifically writing words and writing like really long passages of text, because I often measure how much work I've done based on how many words I've written, but obviously this is a significant amount of like planning and structural work, but there's no actual words on a page. But regardless, I'm happy with everything I've gotten done so far today, and I'm feeling really good about this story. I'm really excited to be getting back to working on it now. Because I've been so focused on the illustration project at the moment, this big fun writing project has sort of taken a bit of a back seat so that I could focus on getting the illustration project done, and thankfully the illustration project is so close to being done. Like, it's so exciting. It's now about midday, so I'm probably going to park this for now, but I'm gonna go make some lunch. I have stuff to make cold rolls. So last week I was really lazy and I just ended up making like fried eggs on toast, but this week I decided to put in effort and actually make something fun and interesting. So I'm gonna make Tyler and I cold rolls for lunch. I marinated some chicken and I made them yesterday and they tasted really good, so I'm gonna make those again today. Tyler has migrated from his desk over to the spot in the like sort of lounge room area, our family room. I don't know what to call that room, the one main room of our apartment. If you guys remember from last time we were like in lockdown and like all working from home and stuff, it was me. I was the one who ended up working most of my day in that room because I didn't want to spend all day sitting at my desk in the one same chair. So now in order to get separation, he's sitting in that room. So I find it quite funny how this time, now that like we're both working from home, we've like swapped where we're sitting. So yes. Anyway, I'm rambling now. Let's go make some lunch. Lunch is all done now and we just had some book mail arrive, so let's open this up. Look at how beautiful this book is, honestly. I ordered this really, really pretty copy of 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. It's been on my TBR for maybe like 6 months now. It's been quite a while I've been wanting to read it because I really love magical realism, but I haven't read very much magical realism from Latin America. And now I get to read this really, really pretty copy. What a beautiful edition. I feel like the listing for it on the Booktopia website doesn't really do justice to how pretty the book actually is. Like, the colors are just so stunning. I'm just so happy with how pretty the book is. Like, I obviously, you know, don't judge a book by its cover, and it's the contents of the book that actually matter. But particularly with classics, I really love collecting like the pretty like hardback versions of the texts. I think it's so special to be able to afford to buy new books, and so getting like a really beautiful hardcover fancy copy is such a luxury, and I'm very, very picky about the physical copies of books I end up buying, and so I'm just delighted by how stunning this looks. Look at those colors. I'm going to start reading this soon. I just finished reading, actually, If Cats Disappeared from the World by Genki Kawamura. I was listening to that book on Libby, and so I borrowed the audiobook from the library, and I was listening to it as I was working on the illustration project. I came so close to DNFing it. Like, the first half of the book I really struggled to listen to, because I don't know if it's like the fact that the translation from Japanese into English was quite clunky, or if it was the clunkiness of the prose with the narrator not being like quite as convincing as I would have wanted. But I really, really wasn't enjoying the book at all. I came so close to DNFing it. Because it was so short, I figured I'd just push through and see, because I kind of wanted to see how the book would end, and I'm really glad that I did. The ending of that book is really emotionally impactful, and so I'm really happy that I finished it. The book ended up being 3 stars for me because it wasn't as engaging as I would have wanted in the first half, even though I ended up really enjoying last quarter-ish of the book. I thought was quite strong. That is how my reading is going at the moment. I'm probably going to get started on this soon. However, I'm currently reading this book, which is Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. This is the book we're reading for our book club over on Patreon this month. I am about this far of the way through the book, and today while I work, because I'm about to go get started on the illustration project for today, I think I'm going to listen to The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe, because I haven't actually ever read them before, and this year I'm trying to really get through like a few of like the fantasy classics that I've just kind of missed out on reading like in my childhood, because I've also borrowed that one from Libby. And so just as like a general recommendation, Libby is a wonderful library app where you can borrow ebooks and library books for free as long as you have a library card. So obviously not in any way sponsored. I just love Libby. I think they're such a good service and such a good app, and so I will recommend them to death because it makes reading so much more financially accessible for everyone. So Libby is wonderful. I'm gonna go listen to that now while I work on the illustration project. So I made a 2022 playlist, and basically at the moment it's all just songs from musicals. This is all I have so far. I am all done with work for today. It is about 6 p.m. So I got a whole bunch of the illustration project done, and then I finished the day by doing a bit of admin work. I did some like YouTube related planning, and I put some stuff up on Instagram, and I just, got my admin-y stuff done that I needed to get done at the end of the day. So I'm all finished officially for today. So just a little bit of an update for the illustration project, which I've been speaking about for the last 2 years, I think. Technically speaking, I've been working on the illustration project for the last 3 years, but in terms of like when I've really buckled down on the work, it gets a little bit hazy. When you pick up a project and put down a project, it's challenging to say that you've been working on something for a certain amount of time when that isn't really reflective. But anyway, I'm rambling. The illustration project, essentially, when I quit my job 6 months ago and I focused on like working for myself and being self-employed, I decided that I really wanted to buckle down with that project and just finally get it done, because between doing full-time work, I was doing my post-grad studies for quite a bit of the last 3 years. I was like doing YouTube stuff, and then I wrote a novel which I to submit and got rejected. I'm also working on a new big story, and so in between all of these things that I was juggling, I've been like slowly like chipping away at the illustration project. But when I finally made the jump to do my own stuff full time, I decided I really wanted to buckle down with the illustration project, and so I've been working on that at least one day a week this whole time, and I've put a lot of hours in, particularly in the last few months. And what's really exciting is that that illustration project is now just about done. Like, it's so close to being done. I've had some positive feedback on it so far, and I'm about to send it off to get more feedback. Honestly, I probably could have done this stage a bit sooner, but I really wanted the project to be quite polished before I put it in front of people for this last little feedback phase I'm going through. I've been calling it the illustration project for such a long time, and honestly that's probably not even the best, you know, nickname or code name for it, because really it has photography and writing and a whole bunch of creative stuff in there. It isn't just illustration, although illustration is a really big element to it. You guys might have noticed that over the last year and a bit I haven't really been doing very much illustration, and I haven't been putting up very much illustration on Instagram, and that's because whenever I've been drawing, it's been work that's been going towards this project. And so in a way I'm kind of getting sad that this project's almost over, because I've put so much time into it and so much of myself into it, and I'm really happy with where it is. But I'm also a little bit excited because it's going to mean that I can spend more time on illustrating other stuff and drawing other stuff, and yeah, it's a very exciting time. Can you guys tell that I'm very happy about this? I got a bit emotional last night because I was like looking at this project and I was comparing it to like one of the very early drafts I did, and seeing how far it's come in the last little while just makes me very like proud and excited and happy. So I'm feeling very good about work stuff. But I'm going to shut down my computer now and maybe go make a start on dinner. I've done a lot of cooking today. I don't normally do very much cooking. Tyler does a lot of our cooking normally. For dinner, I'm making a dish which is inspired by, I'm gonna get the name right, what is it? Let me quickly Google it before I say it. Biryani. So that is the inspiration for tonight's meal, which is like a chicken rice dish, which has like raisins in it. I've had something similar before, I believe, which was very delicious, and so I wanted to make something like this. However, I was at Coles and I was trying to get all the ingredients, but to make this entire recipe from scratch was actually like a little bit expensive, so this is gonna be a slightly pared back version, and basically, yeah, a biryani inspired meal. This lighting isn't spectacular, but you guys get to see a snippet of how bright it gets in here because of the sun during this time. There's a really wonderful period of time during each day where like the sun hits just the right angle and it shines through and it hits my computer, and so I kind of can't see my computer because the sun just like comes down this hallway and it's so bright. Step 1, soak 300 grams of basmati rice in warm water, then wash in cold until the water runs clear. The rice is soaking away. I don't know how long it's supposed to soak for, the recipe doesn't say. Maybe it means just immediately. I'm realizing that this is probably the type of meal where I will likely spill stuff on myself, so I think I'm gonna go change what I'm wearing. Step number 2, cut a large onion. So this, not biryani, but something inspired by biryani and loosely based on it, dish is like, it smells so good. Like, I'm really happy with how this is working out so far. I just boiled it and now I'm simmering it for 5 minutes, and then I have to let it stand for 10 minutes and then it's done. It's so fragrant and it smells amazing. Like, it's this really like beautiful, like sort of like sweet, spicy smell. Like, it's just, it's good. I don't think it's gonna be very spicy. The curry paste I ended up getting is a mild curry paste, which is good because I don't tend to handle spicy food super duper well, although I am getting better. I am eating more spicy foods recently because I don't know, I miss travel so much, and one of my favorite things to do when I travel is eat as much food as I can. At the moment, I think I'm just trying to cook more interesting food to sort of fill that void because I just want travel and we can't still. So in the end, the reason why this isn't quite biryani. The recipe asked me to get Balti curry paste, which I couldn't find. I needed to use cardamom pods, which I also couldn't find. I don't know if that wasn't there because of the food shortage situation or if it just didn't happen to be in stock. And then bay leaves were quite expensive because they only really had a really big packet and I only needed 1 bay leaf. So I figured that if I really like this and this is really good, I might just get the packet of bay leaves next time. It seems to be going very well. As I said, it smells amazing. I'm so excited to eat this. 23 seconds until we take it off the heat. There we go. Turn off the heat and leave for 10 minutes. Okay, it's off the heat. We're gonna leave it for 10 minutes and then we're ready to go. The sun is setting, so we are just getting the last of the daylight here. What time is it? 8:53 p.m. and we've just finished dinner. We ended up watching The Mandalorian. Episode 4 just came out, so that is... No, not The Mandalorian. Book of Boba Fett. In the end, dinner was really good. It was really yummy, I think. I need to add slightly less curry paste next time because it was just... The spice level was good, but by the end it was just maybe a little bit too much. So I think if I reduced it, or otherwise I'm going to have a bit more of a look for a more similar curry paste to the one that I was supposed to use, because I looked it up and apparently that particular curry paste is not available in Australia, so apparently you can't get it here, or at least that's what the internet told me. But otherwise it was really yummy. I really enjoyed it. And for the rest of the night, pretty much, I'm just going to end up reading Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. As I said earlier, this is the book we're reading together on Patreon for our book club. So I want to read a bit more of this tonight, and then I'll probably end up playing Final Fantasy or something like that. Thank you guys so very much for watching this vlog. It's been a really lovely, productive little day today. I had a really nice nature walk this morning. That's probably the highlight of my day. There was some very nice tweeting, loud birds and pretty flowers. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this vlog. I hope you guys enjoyed getting to share a work day with me. Also, as always, an enormous thank you to everyone over on Patreon who is supporting my channel. Over on Patreon, we have a whole bunch of lovely bonus content. We have a private Discord server. There's a whole bunch of stuff over there. So if you're interested in checking out Patreon, please feel free to click the link in the description down below. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.